Yeah, but it's still, I think it was on the shorter side because it allowed the batters to just go onto the back foot and just play it away to the vacant areas. If you want to see your bowlers, especially when the skipper has decided to bowl first after winning the toss, you would want them to pitch it up a little bit fuller and see whether what the ball does because we saw that hint of movement in the previous over. So Abdullah will also need to understand the fact that if he can bowl a bit fuller, he might create few chances here. There's a slip in place.
Bat on ball for Avezia off the mark.
Yeah, again on the shorter side. He's got a bit of a pace here. There's this bounce available because these conditions should suit the seamers early on.
There's plenty of help from the pitch, and also, like we say, it's cool morning. He can get that fuller length. He may get something in the air as well. But at the moment, for the first few deliveries, he hasn't given that chance to the ball by bowling short of a length. Another one dug in, and it on the second bounce, very, very high and called as wide. Abdullah is adamant to test the middle of the pitch.
Yeah, I think the skipper needs to go and have a quick word with him just to make sure that yes, short pitch delivery is fine, but you just don't want to see him bowling short on every occasion that he's released three deliveries on a shorter side.
Again, too short, too straight. Almost tumbled Shayan Jahangir as he was looking to play it off the hip, setting off for that run.
Yeah, Atlanta Force also playing their second game. They managed to score 129, getting bowled out against Clarion Eagles, and the Eagles went on to win by 6 wickets. So the bowlers will need to do a better job here. That's probably the reason why skipper decided to bowl first here. Just want to take a little bit of an advantage. And at the moment, not finding the right line and length from Abdullah.
The early wickets is the key because this Kingsmen X side, they bat very, very deep. The Jinder Singh, the skipper, is very good for Azali. Then they also have Shahan Surya, the man in form from yesterday. Go through the lineup and you see and Kruma Bonner, another of those very, very prolific names in the lineup. Saad bin Zafar is not too shabby with the bat. Neither is Hassan Mohsin. Long batting lineup.
Yeah, and Kumar Bona, former West Indian international, Shan Jasuria, former Sri Lankan international. And looks a good side. Looks a threatening side. So watch out.
Another short delivery. Went through with a shot early. Shahan Jahangir, the ball arrived late. Abdullah Qadri has found out what is in him at the middle of the pitch. Needs to do that about the good length area when he comes back for the next over. Two done, 8 for 9. Shoaib Tai, the off spinner, into the attack straight away, replacing Akhil Posa. Shoaib Tai is a very good off spinner, very experienced cricketer, played a lot of his cricket in India. And given the opportunity, Avasya wouldn't spare you. Two straight onto the pads and a nice sweep shot to earn Avas his first boundary.
Yeah, it was expensive in the last match against the Eagles. Shoaib Thai, 1 for 38 in the 4 overs that he bowled. Not the right line again. Nice bit of a sweep from Awais has picked up the gap, and there's now extra protection in that area. Now they've got two fielders in that direction for the sweep.
Evidence of turn there for Shoaib Tai.
Now that's better. That's much better. Get the batter onto the front foot, and there, as you rightly pointed out, there is a hint of turn also. So good tussle in the middle.
Turn, another very, very good delivery. Yeah, the bowlers need to make a quick adjustment. They've been playing on a pitch where they were hugely relying on defensive bowling yesterday. Here, there's plenty of help. Have to change the areas. Shoaib Tai has made great adjustment. Another pitch. Good end to the over. It's 3 done, 12 for none. I thought Akhil Posa bowled the better over, but the skipper is persisting with Abdullah Qadri. Bowled back of a length throughout the over. I don't think the batters will mind pace on because the way the ball is gripping and turning, that back of a length, pretty good for batters.
Probably just a touch fuller the first delivery that he has bowled. You got to, as a player, you will need to adapt and adjust and try to figure out what the pitch is offering. Yes, there was turn. Maybe cutters are not a bad idea on this kind of a surface. I still feel he needs to be a little bit fuller.
Shan Jahangir, on the other hand, is very experienced, and so is Avas. With these early exchanges, probably they would have got something in their mind that what is a good total on this pitch, or how should they approach this early phase at least, and see where they end up at the end of the power play or at the halfway stage, depending on how quickly the wicket dries up a little bit and the sun beats down on it.
Just a couple of overs yesterday from Abdullah Qadri. He bowled 2 overs, none for nine. That was against the Eagles.
Swing and a miss from Awaz Ziav. Really wanted to fetch it from outside the off stump.
When as a team you get past 200 in a T20 game, obviously it shows the aggressive mindset of each and every batter. Always trying to pull that one, completely missing it. Probably there was a little bit of low bounce on that occasion. Missed out.
Talking about the aggressive intent of this team. I just went through their lineup, and most of them are aggressive by nature. It's a better length to wait for the umpire signal. They got a little bit of bat on it.
You cramped him for room as well. It's a good length. Look at his feet position. The batter doesn't really go back or forward, so it gets stuck. That's the reason why I feel that he should be bowling on the full. There you go. Neither back nor forward.
To straight, no chance with that one. Pitch way outside the leg stump.
This is also the sort of a pitch that both teams would have looked at the scores that they got from the teams that they played. Remember the first game, 44. That was Raiders.
St. Louis Americans played against
Beg your
Atlanta
pardon.
Fire. Yeah, the
Yeah,
first game.
first game. Yeah, first game was 44. They only managed to score 44. So when you see a team struggle, they would need to apply different method application. Yeah, St. Louis Americans 44 all out Atlanta 5 finishing in style in just 4.1 overs.
And you mentioned Raiders as well. They crawled to 112, and then at one stage they really challenged the much fancied Kingsmen side. Barely got over the line. So run scoring clearly was difficult as it is this morning. Up to this point, 4 done, 15 for none. Not the usual start that you expect to a T20 game. The usual crash, bang, and wallop. Here, the batters have to be circumspect. The good thing is they haven't lost any wicket. The longer you stay there, probably you'll give yourself the best chance to come up with a score on this pitch. There was 45 in place. Cheyenne with no pace really went for the little dab. Premeditation once again.
Swing and a miss. It's pretty decent start for Atlanta Force, knowing that they've already lost that game that they played yesterday. Now winning the toss and deciding to bowl first. Yes, perhaps Abdullah, you spoke about the left arm seamer.
Qadri.
Abdullah Qadri maybe could have bowled a little bit better, but not a bad start for them at all. Again, straight to the fielder. And that's exactly what you want. Even if you don't want to, don't get to pick up wickets, they've not really let the batters go on to pick up boundaries. This is the fifth over, and they've scored 16. Nicely driven. Oh, good piece of fielding. Really good piece of fielding. Diving to his right and picking it up.
Yeah, run scoring has been down. Batters really struggling. Like I said, it's not the usual power play that you expect into the fifth over. And not a single boundary has been conceded. It's the one boundary, beg your pardon, that sweep shot from Avas. Yeah, generally with two aggressive players. They like to hit the fence early doors, both of these batters. The conditions have demanded for them to come up with a different game plan. It's in the air, but in the gap. These two will run well between the wickets.
You can feel the frustration on the batters, the kind of shots they're trying to play, knowing that you spoke about the boundary and only one boundary in the first 5 overs. This is last delivery. So they would be looking to take a few chances here. They have a very strong batting lineup.
Talk about that. You called it absolutely correctly. Shayan Jahangir has deposited tie over long on. It was in the arc and out of the park.
The first six comes from the bat of Shah Jahangir. 25 without loss. A really good shot. It was tossed up. A lovely shot to clean the ropes. Right on the top of the tent.
Can't be more symbolic than that, hitting the opposition dugout tent, sending the signal that we mean business now. We've had a look in. Conditions have been tough. But to their credit, the Atlanta Force, they haven't bowled many freebies. It's the boundary four, and now the six. In between, there have been some good bowling. Although conditions are in their favor, but you still have to put the ball in the right area. And they've done it for the majority part of these first 5 overs. Being critical of the lengths that Qadri bowled. But he probably was the quickest of them all. Not much damage really was caused in terms of giving away runs.
They've made a bowling change now. Akhil Posa back in the attack. He only bowled a single over, which went for 3 runs.
Good thing about that over from Akhil Posa was that he quickly realized didn't offer any pace, started to bowl cutters, got plenty of grip from the pitch. Now coming from the far end. A pitch shot allowing Avas to go onto that back foot. Avas generally is very good square of the wicket.
I always feel that the combination of left and right hand is so good for the team due to the fact that the moment they cross over for a single, the field changes and the line and length from the bowler will need to change also.
It's the regulation field now for this time of the innings. Both third and final leg are up in the ring. Shayan swinging hard. Feel that he's got the license now to go for it.
Yeah, it was in the slot. He misses it. Just a little bit too wide. Yeah, just the reaction from him says it all, doesn't it?
Yeah, and probably just dragged it towards that cow corner. If he had went with the angle, there's no protection in the deep on the offside. Avas called for it. Shayan was late in reacting, but that fumble will allow both of them to get into their ground.
It's a well directed short pitch delivery. I think he's hit him on the chest. The reaction suggested that he missed it completely. There you go, right on the body, holding on to the chest, and all of a sudden he realized that the non-striker wanted a single. Didn't pick it up cleanly, the keeper.
Two outfielders for Avas is deep cover and deep square leg. Get it in front. We'll go to that sweeper. Just a bit of a flow to the innings started to come, putting back to ball, rotation of strike.
Yeah, they're getting in a bit of a momentum here. Kingsmen X, the openers, have taken a bit of a time. They're in the air. Still have got 10 wickets in hand. This is the last over for the power play.
Now he got over the top of that offside field. No protection there for Shayan Jahangir. Better option, and he will profit with a boundary.
Yeah, again a short pitch delivery, allowing the batter Shayan Jahangir to free his arms, short and wide, gets to treatment over the top of the infield and races to the boundary. Look how short this is. Short, wide, four.
Fast hands through the ball, Shayan. Last ball before the power play. A bit of a recovery there from Kingsman X. This is bad bowling, but superb strike from Shayan Jahangir, and this time it's gone all the way. What a strong finish to the power play for the Kingsman X.
Yeah, fifth with that six. The score moves on to 38, but what a cracking shot that is. Again, too much wide on the offside. This time he latches onto it. That is a very good shot and goes the distance.
Six done, Kingsman X 38 for none. More protection for the spinners now since the power play is done. Daud is into the attack. Majority of this Atlanta Force team comprise of very talented youngsters, mostly from local leagues here in Atlanta. Good exposure for them. Very good opportunity to share the field with some experienced players. And the finger's gone up. Westia went for that adventurous reverse hit. Probably it hit him on the full, and the finger was raised pretty instantly.
Yeah, good success. Yeah, the umpire decided to do, give this in favor of the bowler, trying to play the reverse. Things were looking good for Kingsman X, but a wicket to Dawood in his very first delivery of his very first over breaks the partnership.
Was a full toss. He could have hit it anywhere. Just the premeditation. And West will have to walk back after providing a decent start to his team. Kingsman X 38 for 1.
पता नहीं एंगल सीधा नहीं है ना थोड़ा सा टेढ़ा है
Sometimes. Well, Daud Azim couldn't have asked for a better start. A wicket off the first delivery. I was saying these youngsters be just glad for the exposure to share the field with some of the very experienced players, international pedigree players. And Daud Azim has just got an international player out, and he will cherish that. Looks like Sanjay Surya has been sent in now. Man fresh from 100 yesterday. Ooh, little chip to the surprise of Sanjay Surya. It went over the head of the bowler.
Yeah, the ball just holding up, but he's in a very good nick. Shahanja Surya. What an innings! What an innings he played yesterday. 113 of just 52 deliveries with 10 sixes and 8 fours. Great strike rate. Now, this is the pair. This is the dangerous pair. Shayan Jahangir also scored 60 in that match, 41 deliveries. So if they can somehow manage to break this partner, break this pair, pick up a wicket, get a new batter in, then They'll put a little bit more pressure. It's turning out to be a really good over.
Yeah, excellent. Look at Daud Azim. He's quite tall. Needs to have very good action. Left arm around the wicket, but not the conventional way. Not between the umpire and the stumps, just coming on the outside of the umpire.
It's turning out to be a lovely over. He's given nothing away, and there is a bit of a grip and a bit of a turn. He's already picked up a wicket of his very first delivery. He needs to finish off nicely here. He's just given him a single in this over.
Well, that was a gift. Cheyenne wasn't going to spare him. I think it carried all the way. Flat and hard for a maximum.
Yeah, what a way to finish the over. Just spoils the last delivery. It was a Cheyenne Jahangir who smashed it over long off for the maximum. Tracking shot to finish the over. Kingsman X is 45 for 1. Look at that low full toss. Easy. Too easy. Poor delivery. Gets the treatment. 45 for 1 after 7.
Avaz got dismissed for 10, part of a good opening partnership. But Cheyenne has been more belligerent. Strike rate is 136 at this stage. We'll allow Cheyenne J. Surya to take a little bit of time if he wants to get used to these conditions. And the momentum being carried by Cheyenne Jahangir. Karnik Patel, more left arm spin in action. Bit to have a look in. Cheyenne J. Surya just quietly knocks it into the gap.
Yeah, he'll take a little bit of time, but then once he gets his eye in, then he'll be looking to play a few shots here. I can tell you that. Shahan Jahangir, very good. He's moved to 30 of just 22 deliveries. He's played some glorious shots.
That's a firm drive, just in the air for a little while, but away from the fielder.
He's getting to move on now. Shahan Jahangir.
Gradually found his touch, gradually got accustomed to the pace of the pitch. Nicely placed by Cheyenne J. Surya just to skip down the wicket and found the gap with ease.
Well, that's exactly what I was expecting. A couple of deliveries, and then he said, okay, I've seen enough. I'm going to take on the bowler. Good use of the feet, going to the pitch of the delivery, and then flicking it away into the gap. What a lovely shot. There was a fielder in the deep, but they had no chance whatsoever. Went quick, flat for a boundary.
Excellent use of the feet, and then a flick of the wrist allowed him to find that gap. This is a full toss. Easy pickings, although just couldn't hit the gap as well as he did on the last occasion. Just a single, bit of a sluggish running as well. I think they're queuing up now, both of them. They want to have a piece of this. Cheyenne, very guilty of being a little greedy for the strike.
Yeah, if he missed out on that occasion, with that boundary, 50 comes up for Kingsman X.
Patel finishes off with a good delivery. Be disappointed overall with his effort in the first over. 8 done. Kingsman X 52 for 1. Second day of this Atlanta Open T20 2024. Plenty of action across this beautiful Paramveer Sports Complex. 3 fields being used today as well. Gorgeous morning. Started off pretty cool and fresh. It's getting pleasantly warm as we will stretch from morning into the afternoon. Let's gain good use of feet. And Akhil, how was your first day and how did you find in and around Atlanta where you're staying?
We've been busy. Not a lot to see because came in the morning because we have early start, 10:30 start, so the toss at 10 o'clock. So we need to be here by earlier than that. And by the time you go back to your room, you really don't have an opportunity to go out and see around. So I haven't been out at all, but hopefully sooner than later.
Yeah, this is the best time of the year to be around this part of the world. It can get really hot and humid around August and September, so gotta find time to do things. There's plenty of things to do. Atlanta,
Double headers, Faisal doesn't really give me an opportunity to go out, does it?
as a commentator, yeah, we know we work in those leagues at times and we watch close delivery. What happened? It was fired in, but way down the leg side.
I think there was an opportunity for stumping here because it is wide, but if had he gathered the keeper, he was way out of his crease. That is a big, big miss here. Yes, it's a wide. The batter on strike was Shihan Jayasuriya, the player who got to 100. There you go. That's how you rub salt on the wound. You miss him, and then the next delivery goes on for the maximum. And they've only got themselves to blame.
And how often does this happen? After a missed opportunity, a boundary or a six follow. Wicketkeeper Vivek had the opportunity get rid of Shayan Jayasuriya, and as long as he stays in the middle, it will prey on the minds of Vivek. Although a tough chance down the leg side, but this is where you earn your money as a wicketkeeper. These are the chances you're expected to grab. Shayan loading up with a big booming backlift. This was good delivery though, not allowing him to get underneath it.
He's looking dangerous. Shehan Jayasuriya. Once again, both the batters now getting together to build up this partnership.
Nicely weighted Shayan Jahangir. Did stop a little, but this is the advantage when you spend time in the middle. You get used to the pace. You're able to make use of that delivery as well, which was a quite decent delivery.
They'll be thinking to get this run rate up. Now they've just gone above 7 runs in an over, 7.13. Eyeing the leg side.
It's the experience of these two. You can't find the boundary. You make sure you make use of every delivery. 9 gone. Kingsman X 64 for 1. Rejected. Partnership of 26 of 17 deliveries for the players who share the same initials. at least as far as the first and last name goes. Generally, Sri Lankan names could be quite long. I don't know if Sanjay Surya has a middle name.
Yeah, he played, represented Sri Lanka for 12 ODIs and 18 T20 internationals. Shan Jayasuriya, Sri Lankan under 23s also, Sri Lankan under 19s. Has got more than 5,000 runs in first class cricket. So he's got tons of experience. Let's stay for almost 4,500 runs. And he's certainly enjoying his outing here yesterday and even today.
This entire lineup of Kingsmen X, they comprise of international players. Talk about Shayan Jayasuriya, Shayan Jahangir's USA exploits, but also Shayan Jahangir has played for Pakistan under 19. Has had good experience before he came over. That's many years ago. Around 2017, I think he moved over here and started the local circuit. This is big, but the fielder was in line, just took him on. And for a moment, his heart must have been in his mouth. Could this be a better effort? We'll have to wait and see for the replay.
Was there a chance? It looked like it might have been an opportunity for the fielder to hang on to that catch. We'll have to wait and see. Again, making it into a full toss by using his feet. Oh, way above. Way above. Just could not go and close to that ball. Again, good piece of timing.
Down the wicket. This time, no chance. The fielder just turned back and was starting to retrieve the ball because Jayasuriya had timed that magnificently.
This is even bigger. This is even bigger. Now he's cracking on. There's a back-to-back sixes for Shihan Jayasuriya. And he's really turning it on in this over.
Well, getting up to the halfway stage, these are ominous signs for the Atlanta Force that projected score has gone up to 161. We've seen run scoring in this pitch is pretty difficult. There has been plenty of full tosses and freebies in the last 4 overs. Something you don't want to offer to these players with pedigree and experience.
So what about that stumping chance, Faisal? Great opportunity, and he was on strike as the keeper who messed it up. Yes, it was wide, it was down the leg side, but that should have been taken. And had he got it into the gloves, he would have been in business because Shihan Jayasuriya was way out of his crease.
The longer that Shanja Surya stays, Vivek will be thinking about that miss stumping. And also, think about that. Getting a new batter in is never easy to start on these pitches. So that was a double-edged sword for Vivek, and he'll have to live with that, at least for the time that Jayasuriya remains in the middle. At the halfway stage, Kingsman 79 for 1. Thank you. Vinod Bhai, Ajay, and you lead.
Been searching, huh? Been searching, brother.
Against Wasima Khan, right?
No, not
That was 70.
Right Mushtaq, Kabir Khas, but
Ali Khan for his first spell together with my dear friend Shah Faisal, and we're just getting some behind the scenes information there from our dear brother who had an ODI best of 82, and he was telling us that Sachin brought some bees with him whilst he was bowling. Shah,
Yeah, I've heard of that before as we watched good bit of fit footwork on the boundary. Was that good enough to
and
prevent the boundary?
yeah, I'd like to see that again. 83 for 1, Kingsmen X. Oh, there it is, Shah. Let's look at this. Hmm,
Make up your own mind with that.
yeah,
No third umpire, so it's a long way away from the umpire. They have to rely on the fielder's call.
mhm. There's Mangesh, one of the organizers here. Shihan has been good. After match yesterday, I was told this one drifts away from him. So have a look at that again. Still some turn on this track. A much better batting track though than we had on opening day. And kudos to the ground staff here led by the former West Indies all-rounder Hamish Anthony. I think they did some work. Overnight, you think, Shah? You're the local man here.
Yeah, the thing with the curators is like you have to give them a lot of credit because after the games finish, everyone goes home. They don't,
Yep.
especially when you have back-to-back double headers. I have to say this pitch looks wise, it was much better than yesterday, although early morning moisture will be there. I'm really keen to see when it dries out, especially in the second innings
Yeah,
or second game.
there's a buddy, Jayesh Patel, the owner of the facility here.
Yeah, he's been an ever present. He does like to take keen interest in everything.
Yes. In the air. And it's going to clear long off. That's 6 runs. You thought for a moment there, Shah, that he was not in control of the shot, but it just kept going and going and going like Jayesh Patel and it went over the boundary for 6.
This old age-old cliche, it's going, was going, and it went.
That could have brought down an American Airlines jet. The height it made.
Was that an endorsement? I know you're a popular man. You fly so much. Tell me about it.
I hope it's an endorsement. I hope I can at least get my luggage free. Driving through the offside and a lovely stop. Still, they get a single. Judge Patel. I think he knows every blade of grass on this field.
It's hard work, blood, sweat, and money that has gone into this facility. You
Yeah,
won't blame him, would you?
takes a lot of pride in his facility here. I would like to see him continue to develop it to probably some permanent seating. Uh, but even before that, I think you need some facilities for the players in terms of the dressing rooms and stuff, Shah.
I'd really love him to have that kind of facility, the changing rooms, the showers, and probably an exclusive executive box at the top of that building where he can sit and watch his facility with pride.
But I can't sit.
In what? Yeah, well, he has to because I know that his friends come over from all over the country. That will be their vantage point to see everything from atop and admire and be proud of.
Yes, of course. We have to face the fact that he has done a lot for cricket in Atlanta just by having this facility here. It's always a hive of activity here on the weekends, especially, and now even during the week. A lot of cricket being played here, and this is the only way America's cricket will go forward by playing on turf pitches.
Yeah, that's true. You said weekends, I think during cricket season, almost every day is some activity going on here.
A bit too close to cut. Still he's able to force it away there, Shehan. So Sheyan is on 43 and Shehan is on 34.
Are we mute?
93 for one, 8 overs to go, and they're poised here to get a good score, Shah. Any predictions?
Well, I mean, they got a long batting lineup, so Atlanta Force should be dreading facing a huge target. And at one stage, I mean, Kingsmen would have been happy with 140, but now the projected scores read 155. With wickets in hand, they can really go upwards of that too, especially the kind of bowling we've seen in the last few overs. Other than that one missed opportunity, the spinners haven't really bowled well.
Even from the opening over from Osa, I was listening on and I heard you mention that if he bowls like that, then he's not allowing the pitch to be a factor. And I thought that was exactly, that has been the keys here this morning from the Atlanta Force.
Swift Ties, one of their more experienced campaigners. Oh, there's a big shout. I think Jayasuriya was overbalancing, but still remained in the crease at all times, according to the umpire.
Now let's have a look at this. Yeah, it was always grounded.
Swift Tie once again causing trouble. He's been the only spinner who's really bowled well and exploited the conditions better. He's gone at less than 5, coming to the end of his spell. More evidence of that turn and bounce. He's really found the right pace as well on this pitch, because you can't afford to be short. Otherwise, it will sit up. Jayasuriya found it appropriate. Just block it and see off Sweptai, who's finished off with none for 16 of his 4. 13 gone, 93 for 1. Nicely, quietly into the gap. Soft hands. Yeah, the momentum is with Kingsmen for sure. And with these conditions, you feel that the young Atlanta Force are now looking to just limit the damage. Projected score reads at this stage at 163.
I never go with that. To me, that's always wrong. I think that the commentators normally have a good idea. They can sum up the conditions and the situation of the match. It's not a mathematical formula. It's one more. I thought Rishi has been very, very short in the over and is lucky to get away with just 10 runs.
16 gone. 130 for one. Pen, please. Pen. You're feeling for very long overs coming for Atlanta Force. With 9 wickets in hand, two set batters going berserk. It's not going to be easy for the inexperienced bowlers.
Fire tender goes speeding down the 4-1-1 on hopes that everything is okay. You always get anxious when you see the fire tenders going at pace.
Traffic moves very rapidly here at 411. It's quite busy, but you hardly ever see any hiccups. Oh, that's full toss. I'm sure it's going to be a no ball, but Shayan Jahangir has gotten hold of that. All right. Wow, what a strike.
There goes Trinidad and Tobago's under 19 opening batsman, Pal Ramdo, doing the fielding. Let's have a look at that again. Not that. So wait on the replay.
Free hit coming your way after this delivery. Probably we'll get to see replay after this. It's a free hit now.
Again, similar type delivery. He's caught, but I think it's going to be called no ball, and it is. And he could get run out. Yeah, it's all happening. Not out, says the umpire. Jahangir was looking to come down the ground. He was not sure. Good thinking, though, by Jayasuriya, just to advise him that here comes another full pitch delivery.
Yeah, that's very selfless from Jayasuriya because he knew it's going to be a free hit and he wanted Jahangir to take that free hit instead of him going to the other end. There was a big single, but he refused. He told him, well, it's another free hit coming. Right? You can have that as well. How cool is that from Jayasuriya?
Yeah, both players seem to have a very good relationship, and they've shown that in his partnership. Now, Abdullah has been running very, very far from even the edge of the boundary. Reminds me of Michael Holding, but until he reaches the stumps.
Well, I think the ball has been taken out of his hands
Yeah, he
because
has
two
to be
warnings.
two warnings, so someone else has to complete.
It could still be free hit. How is that going to read to the figures of the bowler who's just going to take up the ball from Abdullah? Drama here
Well,
at the Paramveer.
Abdullah is speaking to Jahangir. I don't know what Jahangir said, but Jahangir is not his choice. He doesn't have a say in the matter.
Not at all.
He continues to plead with the umpire who has given him his cap. So he's earned the cap from the umpire. Someone else has to complete the over.
It's really started well for the Atlanta Fire. First 5 overs, they really bowled with good discipline for the most part. They had a wicket,
Atlanta Force.
Atlanta Force rather.
Mhm.
And since then, things have gone pear-shaped. After the dismissal of Avaz Zia, it really struggled going back in the innings after 5 overs. They were 25 for none after six. They were 38 for none, which was a reasonable start for the bowling side.
That's excellent in a power play to reduce your opposing team to just 38.
Yeah, but then the wheels came off, it may seem, and they're completely off now. Nitish is going to bowl. That free hit.
That's still in effect. How unfair is that to Nitish? He comes into bowl. He hasn't bowled before. And his first ball is a free hit. And it goes for six. One big stride forward, playing through the lines, taking his hands through the shot. That's 6 runs.
Yeah, you got to take some of the pain that was caused by your teammate. And Nitish will reflect in his figures that he had no fault of his own when he bowled that free hit.
Look at that. Lovely use of the feet. So he goes again. Oh, that's a bit nasty down there.
And that spin really has done for the fielder. They were converging on each other as well. There was a chance of a collision at one stage.
There's Kyle Ramdu. Trinidad and Tobago's opening batsman at the under 19 level.
This was short from Nitish, asking for trouble. Look at that.
Everyone was beaten by that delivery. Ramdu saved the camera. Or so we think.
Well, he was in the mix of all that. It could have been a three-vehicle collision, but luckily,
So at deep mid wicket, you just saw Kyle Ramdu, who is, as I said before, the opening batsman. But just time it's in the air, the opening batsman for Trinidad and Tobago at the under 19 level. And then at long off, you have Liam Mamchan, who's the opening bowler for Trinidad and Tobago under 19 as well. These guys enjoying their time up here.
they should be playing what you got them up to doing now. I know
Well,
Liam played
Mamchan is
yesterday.
playing for some, yeah.
He
One
had a
for
good outing
14.
yesterday. Yeah,
Yeah,
very good. I'm sure you're not coaching him. That's why he's that good.
that is why I definitely like stay away from that.
Very clever, very sensible.
Pushed nicely, but in all seriousness here, Shah, they can easily get up to 180, 190 from this position.
Yeah, feel the hint in the body language of the Atlanta Force. They're just counting down the deliveries. It's painful, and they will find out when they come to bat on this pitch.
It's a beautiful batting track. Oh my! Asking to be hit.
Begging to be hit.
Really bad delivery.
Well, against the players of this pedigree, you don't want to give them second op invitation, and at the moment,
Look
they've
at
been
that. That was a half chucker. I think Jahangir would be disappointed he didn't hit that out of here into Powder Springs. 154 for one. 24 runs in the over so far. Shan Jahangir player always had a lot of time for and fielded.
nearly cleaned up his non-striking partner,
Yes.
who was kind enough to allow him to hit free hits. And Shayan nearly took him off.
Shan goes on to 75.
What an expensive over this has been. 17 gone, 155 for one.
25 runs in the over. So this is something I always wanted to find out. Why do players from the East, players from Pakistan, Bangladesh, India, always kneel when they drink water?
Okay, there are a couple of reasons.
Educate me, my friend.
Firstly, I'd have to bring in and say that it's a religious virtue to
Hmm.
drink or eat while sitting down,
Hmm.
and some modern research has actually proved that if you consume any food or drink, you're better off sitting down instead of standing up. So that's more of a ritual and belief that that is the right way to be grateful as well for all the blessings. And obviously, food and drink is a blessing.
Establishes a short-hand jab down the ground, and it goes for four. Really poor effort. I know
Yeah,
you're very, very hard on fielders when they miss field shot.
yeah, there's one thing, one skill in the game of cricket that you don't have to be blessed with a lot of talent. You can improve it with your sheer effort. And it was poor indeed.
You can't, and one thing, you can't say just you can get a bad bong say at Veers.
Yeah, on this outfield, you have no excuses. And also in this day and age in T20 cricket, there's no hiding place. If you're not a good fielder, you will be exposed.
Definitely.
So you cannot, I mean, it's not even an option not to work on your fielding anymore. Got to be a good fielder, regardless of you being a good batter or bowler, and still add value to the team if you're the best fielder.
Driving nicely. Fielded though. Chen Jasser using his feet.
Generally, with the subcontinent nature of origin cricketers, fielding is always an added advantage. You're a good fielder more often than not. You just get in the playing 11.
He's gone down the track, and Jasser has to go out stump for 62. And Atlanta Force will breathe a sigh of relief.
Googly from Rishi Pandey. He's a very talented cricketer himself. Threw the ball up in the air, landed it correctly, and a bit of spin. There's always spin on offer on this pitch. But Shanjay Surya will take the long walk back. After another sizzling knock in this year's Atlanta Open, he's gone for 62, and Kingsmen X are now 160 for 2.
Yeah, dragging him and fighting him to come down the track. And on pitching, he lost his shape there. Ball turning away from him. That's the goal. Jahangir is still there, poised on the 80. Tajinder's the man coming in, and if he gets a fair amount of the strike here over the next 2 overs and a bit, Jahangir could well get a century.
Yeah, and he'll be good value for that. He really batted well. Don't forget that it didn't come all easy for him at the beginning. He really had to work really hard for his runs, get used to the pace of the pitch. He was really doing all sorts when pitched in the right areas in the first 6 overs. So he had to ride through that phase, and then he's earned himself the opportunity to capitalize on second and third string of bowling and some loose stuff. You can only do that if you remain in the middle. You can't score any runs from the dugout.
So the new man Tajinder is in. Short. Yeah, from Rishi.
Another googly though, but length wasn't right. Tejinder is also a very, very experienced cricketer and a very good batter. Skipper of this Kingsman X. He was in action last week in Dallas in the minor league championship playoffs and then the big finale. Ended up on the winning side in that championship, Tejinder Singh. Cheyenne has gone big, very, very big. In fact, it went almost to the highway.
It was a shorthand jab. Bat speed was the key there. Look at that. Quick bat speed. And out of here. Motoring along to that century. Goes on now to 86.
How big that hit would be, you know, got a good size boundary. Then there is a fence, and it landed about 10 meters over the fence.
An international venue that'll be into the stands. Definitely.
Good 85, 90-meter hit. I'd make it.
Yep. I saw him at the Tampa Open. and he was the player of the series there as well. So I took notice of him from since then,
And that must have been 2017.
around that time. And of course, the bowling was not as good as what he would face at the Atlanta Open. Tampa Open has like just the normal weekend cricketers and some older folks who still play the game. Kudos to them. But he was scoring runs in nearly every match. Head to head, he was going with Nasir Khan. But in the end, he took the crown. Sposa.
Tejinder has done the right thing by getting Cheyenne on strike. 86, 14 shy of his 100. Just 48 deliveries he took. 4 fours and 8 sixes. Where is he looking? He's just cast us an eye on that far corner. Is that his area?
But it's free.
Akhil Posa has bowled quite a few off cutters in his time, so that will be the right angle. Look at where Shayan Jahangir is setting up, showing him all his 3 stumps behind him.
This time he drives uppishly through the offside. It's just going to bounce away and a lovely stop in the end. Ball pitching, spinning in the opposite direction. Good stop.
Akhil Posa, despite Shayan showing him all his 3 stumps behind him, still went for that,
Well,
hiding outside the off stump line.
and the reason why he went across and took that stance was to access those full and wide deliveries. And he fed him there. He should have been looking to go into the stumps with the Yorker. Tajinda gets the single. He's doing the right thing, as Shah said. Did give up though, and he's going back. And there's an appeal. Not out, says the good Leon Parr. They go back for two. That's
Originally, they were happy with the single, but the fielder took a punt. He had one stump to aim, and then in doing so, he conceded the overthrow. There was chance at striker end, but Tejinder made it comfortably.
the time he advances down. I thought he had edged that, but Posa did get the ball to move away from him.
Yeah, that's what Tejinder was pointing in the background, a little leg cutter action. Like I said, Posa had ball plenty of off cutters. With this old ball at this stage, he reverted to that leg cutter. Once again, the ball gripped, even at this late stage. Sun has been coming down, probably not as warm at this stage of the day. Swing and a miss.
Let's have a look at that again and judge for ourselves. Ooh, well, it was outside the guideline, the blue line that is there to just guide the umpire. It's still in the umpire's estimation, as if it's a wide or not.
Yeah, in the end, he wasn't really unjustified to ask for it because he advanced down the wicket. He didn't cover the angle to the side that would allow the umpire to add that movement into that blue line further wide of the off stump.
Slow delivery, peeling off the outside edge of the bat, spinning away, and it's into the boundary for four. Despite the best efforts of the young man running back, I think he might have twisted his ankle.
It didn't look good. Just did slide a little bit. That is very nasty. Boundary to finish off the over. He's still on the ground. 19 gone, 175 for 2.
Hopes that the young man is okay. See young players in all their exuberance throw themselves around. Seems to be serious.
Yeah, the umpires are heading in that direction too.
I think they'll have to make a decision as to if they continue the game without him. And it's good that the umpires have gone down there because one thing, the umpires have been on time. Probably a little too much on time. That's why they wanted to start the game 3 minutes early. But of course, the stations around the globe that are taking this feed, they would have probably had ads running, news being read, Shah. So they wanted to start at a certain time.
Yeah, that's the general practice. You start on time, although the setting was ready 3 minutes prior to that, but
You can see the heat coming off the ground as well. So we're back and ready to go. It's going to be Kane who is going to take up the attack. Left arm orthodox. This is the final over. The interest is to see whether or not Jahangir could get 13 runs to get a century. Panic. Jahangir down the track and he's out stumped. The ball pitched, it moved away from him, and he has to leave. 87, a number that the Australians don't particularly like. And Jahangir goes, but what an effort from him. You can see here, he used his feet nicely, and Kanik was able to pull him wide. The ball, even on pitching, went further, and the wicketkeeper was able to have a shower and then complete that stumping to tell you how far down Jahangir was. But what an innings from Shayan Jahangir. A good talent here for the USA team, showing his capabilities yet again. I want to thank all our sponsors, Rahim Business Management Group, Top Dollar Amusement, VPR, whose delivery is looking to reverse sweep. Of course, this is live production. It's on Cricket 360. AA US Mortgage, HRA, Eastside Pediatrics. This time out of the ground. Bam! Just like that. In the zone, so to speak. 6. Kanik 1 for 28. 3 deliveries he has to go. And this is a very imposing score. But I'll tell you something though. Uh, you can't compare what you're seeing today to what you saw yesterday in terms of the factor that the track plays. It's a much better batting track, as you would have heard from the pitch report done by Atta. Down the ground. 6 more. Tajinda gets into the act now. 188 with a delivery to go. This time again, here he goes. Similar shot. And that's six more to end the innings at 194 for three. Tajinder 20 of just eight deliveries, and he was helped by bad bowling, to be honest. Lovely 87 to Shehan Jahangir and the 62 to Shehan Jayasuriya. So on that note, we take a short break. We'll be right back for the chase.
Well, they've got a huge challenge in front of them. Welcome back for the chase. Kingsman heads again showed some brutal power in terms of how to score runs. Remember, it was Atlanta Force won the toss and decided to field first. In the first 6 overs, they just got off to score 38, but my word, in the end, they smashed at 194 for three. Kingsman X. Well, they need to put up a really good fight here. Important for them to start well here. Jahangir was outstanding, simply brutal with the bat. 87 of just 58 sixes and 4 fours. And there you go, first delivery. I need 195 required out of almost touching 10. As I say, a very good afternoon to win up.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Atta. It's going to be an uphill task. And the guys from Atlanta Force, they're just mostly local players. They play in the local league, some of them coming through the academy. So I think just being on the field with these so-called professional players is such a big thing for them. And they'll be just happy, I think, to see him survive. That's a good delivery, quick one. Man with the Chaminda Vast style, bowling action. Atta, how has it been?
It's been good. It's been good. It's been great to be here, to be a part of this 2024 Atlanta Open T20. And yes, and I'm pretty impressed with the few of the cricketers. I mean, I've already mentioned Shayan Jahangir. What about Shahan Jasuria? Some smashing shots. I mean, yeah, former players who represented their own countries. Good leave to the keeper, but and it is always gives you a insight when you do different types of tournaments in the franchise league because you really don't know a lot of players, but when you see them play, they catches your attention. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
definitely. And when you go to the higher level, you yourself have a certain knowledge about them. I remember speaking to my dear friend, Ian Bishop, who's also your friend.
Bishop Bhai, that's what I address him to.
Bishop Bhai. Next time I see him, I'll have to refer to him as Bishop Bhai. Yes, and I remember when Nicholas Puran had just broke out onto the scene. I was in India, and those were the days of the Champions League, not the Champions Trophy, but the Champions League. And Ian came to me and he said, "Listen, you cover the local cricket in Trinidad. Tell me about this boy." And Bishop Bhai went on air to say exactly where he lived, his parents' name, and probably what was his favorite food.
Hmm.
So it's good to have that information, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. Right, back on the game. But certainly yesterday conditions were a little bit different. This time it's a new surface. When I did the pitch report, it was good to see a little bit of green tinge on the top. We just settles the pitch and holds the pitch together. It was a bit of a struggle for Kingsmen X in the early over because you were there early on. But when it got settled, my word, they played some smashing shots. Well, shouts of catch it, nobody there at the back. Has he got enough to go and take it over the fence? It doesn't. It just stops over. Good work in the deep from the fielder. So pick up a couple of runs.
And not really getting hold of it. Of course, we're in the midst of the power play, so it's lucky to get it over. And a great work, as you said, Atta by the fielder because the ball did backspin. You know how difficult that could be. He was able to negotiate that. So it's another lovely day here at Beers. Thankfully, Atta hasn't brought the heat from Bangladesh with him. One hopes that he doesn't bring the rain.
Well, Bangladesh taking on India in the T20 International. They're feeling the heat there for sure.
Yep. One always looks up to teams like Bangladesh, and I think that when teams like Bangladesh, even the West Indies, when they play against India, I think the world supports the opposition in that case because they want to see, what's next. Who are the guys who are coming up?
Right. Straight away, is the introduction of spin in the second over. Saad Bin. left arm orthodox, slip in place. Yeah, they would need to pick up early wickets. And that's what they would be looking forward to. Poor delivery to start with, and has been put away for a boundary. Deserved that treatment.
Man loosener there from Saad bin Zafar, the man who plays for Canada. His feature in the recent World Cup. But short and pulled away. Too short. Closer to him than the batsman.
It's a long hobby. Sits up nicely. It's easy for the batter to just make room and put it away on the onside for a boundary. Better. That's the interesting part about this surface is once you see the ball turning, gripping, and bouncing. That's where the slip fielders can come into play. Again on the shoulder side, he's missed out on that occasion. Straight to the fielder.
I thought he'd be disappointed with that. But again, previous delivery was probably playing on his mind.
Goes for the reverse. Good option to take. And as it gone all the way, now the signal from the fielder is it's a boundary. Well, it's a good shot, good option. And it connects well with the reverse.
Well, no one is down at third man, so he knew that once he got bat onto that in that direction, it would have gone for a boundary, and he did get a good chunk of the bat on it. And reverse sweep is coming to cricket just as the conventional sweep. How did you play that in your day?
Oh, don't remember. No.
You would remember in 1987 World Cup when Mike Gatting, I think, with England poised.
Shipped straight
Yep.
to the fielder.
It was,
Against Pakistan, wasn't it?
and then I don't think he ever did the end of that.
13 without loss.
So it's getting very cool and very pleasant indeed. I'm sure it will remind out of the days when he played in England. This sort of weather.
A little bit cooler on a cooler side.
Mm.
And
Seam
yeah,
bone.
the amount of help that especially the seamer generates in those conditions. It's a it's a really good thing for the bowlers, but not for the batters. They have to be up for it.
But you did mention off air that you would have played a match here,
Yeah, but the ground next to it, the one that has
right?
not being used. You know, we were here for the Legends
Hmm.
for a team from Bangladesh, former national players. Yeah, we came in and then played a couple of games here. Yeah,
How was that experience?
it was good. It was really good. You know, I mean, during my days when I was during my playing career, you know, you'd be fit and you'd be practice, but not this for the game. You know, we did go out and put bat to ball, but yeah, it's fun. I still play once in a while.
Hmm.
I'll play a T20 match. I'll only open the batting and will not bowl or field, just for fun's sake.
Yes.
Right. Gulam to continue. Yeah, good pace, good bounce, good carry, lovely delivery. Look at solid side. I mean, forget about what they did with the bat. I'll have a look at this delivery. Wow.
Touching down, just going with the angle and good bounce, good piece, good carry. All of a sudden, the pitch, it seemed as if they were overnight they bought a pitch and bring it in.
It's just quickened up because of
Yeah.
the sunshine and because of the grass that I mentioned. Not a lot of grass, but there was a tinge of green
Mhm.
hanging at the top.
You
I
can
reckon,
see when you did the pitch report right next to you was very bare, and the actual pitch, you could have seen that tinge of green, and what a difference it has made.
it does. And it's not only good for the bowlers because as a batter, you would want the ball to come onto the bat. Yes, there's a hint of movement moving away from the right hander. So important for Atlanta Force. He only managed to score 129 in that last game against the Eagles. Shoaib Thai, the opener, still there, the non-striker. He's the one who picked up 36 of just 24 deliveries with 3 4s and 3 6s. So he needs to come good if they want to put up any sort of challenge. And again, lovely delivery, 3 on the trot, right past the outside part of the bat. They look a very good side, I can tell you that. I reckon this is the side to beat. This is the side that the rest of the teams will be hoping to beat.
Well, two Kingsmen team, of course, Kingsmen X and Kingsmen. They are, what should I say, brother teams. And funnily enough, they met in the semi-finals last time at last year. Both teams met in the semi-finals, and Kingsmen defeated Kingsmen X. So they are about the best in the business when it comes to this. This is in the air. Safar settles and takes the catch. So the first wicket has fallen.
Right, Gulam Mudassar, nagging line and length, good pace, good bounce, and it just throws his bat away in the air and a very comfortable catch in the end. The first wicket falls. Kingsman X picks up their first wicket. Atlanta Force loses their first one. It's 13 for 1.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, just 24 years of age, Gulam Mudassir, and he's got more than 100 first class wickets. Yeah, he packs a punch, I can tell you that. He's been bowling really well here. Right, new batter, Nitish on strike. Yeah, they're playing with a lot of flair, I can tell you that. Kingsman X. And look at the way he has bowled this over. As a welcome, Shah Faisal.
Thank you very much, Atabhai. Lovely morning turning into a lovely afternoon as well. Mudassar finishes off another very impressive over. 13 for 1, the Atlanta Force.
Right, spin will continue. Yeah, they've got a really good set of players, very impressive with the way they've played today and also the way they played yesterday. Remember, they were not playing on this ground, so we missed out on watching them. They scored 237. Incredible. 100 from Jayasuriya. Up and over. Oh, nearly into the hands. Just falls short of that fielder.
It's an impressive set of players. Saad Zafar is another one of those with international pedigree. Almost carried just a chip. It's evidence of the ball coming on a bit better, especially this newer ball. The sun been baking down. It's half past midday here.
Extra fielder in the slips. It's a good move. Yes, they need to go and start firing up with the bat because the required run rate has just gone above 10, almost 11 now. So they would need to take few chances if they're thinking of getting even close to that total that Kingsman X put while batting first. Yeah, incredible. Yeah, 38 in the first 6 overs. After the end of the 10th over, Kingsman X were 100 and beg your pardon, 79 for 1. So in the last 10, they managed to score 115. In the last 5, 74 runs smashed.
Yeah, ball was flying to all corners of this Paramveer Sports Complex when Shan Jaisuri and Shan Jahangir were batting. The tidy over from Saad bin Zafar. Not a lot that batters could do. 4 done, 14 for 1.
Atlanta force innings 14 for 1 after the end of the fourth over. And a lot depends on this pair for Atlanta Force. They were the ones among the runs in that last match against the Eagles. Shoaib Thai 36, Nitish Sudhuni 25. I mean, they need to fire up. Important for Atlanta Force. Not going to be easy, I can tell you that. Shah Faisal?
Yeah, not with the kind of opposition they've got, kind of total they're chasing. I think it looks like Hassan Mohsin into the bowling crease.
Yeah, lovely action. Just onto the pad, so it's nicely clipped away for a single.
Hassan Mohsin was part of that Pakistan team that played the World Cup in Bangladesh
Mm.
years ago.
I
Still
don't know.
look baby face. That was 2016, I think.
Yeah, I don't know.
Looking at him, you won't realize that
I
he's
remember
been
that.
around.
I remember that. The the player that I remember would be Madison Mirage. Came out with flying colors. Was the player of the series in that tournament. Oh, straight on and straight out. Oh, it must have hit him and right flush on the face. Mm. He's taken the blow, probably expecting it to come a little bit on the slower side, but was struck nicely and straight onto the face.
Just hit him around the collarbone or neck. He was turning, and that is a real fierce blow. These big bats, it really flies back at you as a bowler.
It looks like he's holding on to the jaw. Didn't expect him that certainly would be needing some treatment here. I hope he's okay.
So he's looking at his fingers. I think it just brushed off his hand. Probably would have taken some pace off, not a lot though.
Yeah, there was an opportunity for him. Had he grabbed it, it would have been a very good catch. And he misses it, and then he goes and maybe just below the jaw, above the neckline on the jaw on the right side. He's holding on to it. We're just going back to that tournament. I remember Azari Joseph was fined where Bishop Bhai, I call basically, I do approach, and he's a very good friend of mine in Bishop. So Bishop Bhai would go on to say that West Indies have found someone who can play for them for a very long time. And he also pointed out to Madison Miraj, the right arm off spinner, and who's turning out to be a really genuine all rounder for Bangladesh. A couple of really good players in the tournament.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think Mehdi Hassan Miraz being a real superstar in the recently concluded Pakistan-Bangladesh series with the bat, with the ball. He was a star man. One of the reasons why Bangladesh was able to beat Pakistan. Pakistan from that tournament, they went into the quarterfinal. I think they lost to West Indies. Omer Masood, a wicketkeeper who got 100 against West Indies in that quarterfinal. But a lot of that generation from Pakistan team, I think Shadab is the only one who came to the fore and still part of the international circuit. For memory, that I'm talking about, because I saw a few of those games. Hassan Mohsin did really well against one of those games in England. I think he scored an 80 odd. Hassan is a very innovative batter as well, especially suited for this format now. Yeah, back in the day, time seems to fly, but like I was saying, if you look at Hassan Mohsin, you won't think that he's been around for that long. He's still got that baby face looks. I actually, every time I see him, I can't believe it. And I just ask him that, why are you not growing older? You just look the same every time I turn around and see you.
In that year, West Indies went on to win that under 19 World Cup. Shimron Hetma also in that side. A great opportunity to look at the future superstars. I know on the slower side. It's okay. He's taken a bit of a time to get some sort of treatment, but it looks okay. Hassan Mohsin.
Yeah, he's a competitor. Seen him a lot in the Pakistan domestic scene. And if you look at his figure, you won't think that He can be a big hitter, but he's very innovative and also can strike very, very big. Has the ability to hit the long ball. Excellent in the field as well.
The extra bounce falls in no man's land. Yes, just talking about under 19. 2020 was special for Bangladesh. They went on to win the World Cup, under 19 World Cup, under the captaincy of Akbar Ali.
Yeah, speaking to quite a few friends from Pakistan who brought actually an under 16 side in 2018. They were really impressed with the structure that was in place for youth cricket.
Slower, shorter, and it's heaved away on the onside for the maximum. That is a good, really good pickup shot from Shoaib Tai.
Repta himself is quite experienced. A lot of first class cricket in India, but this was a real gimme. It just was short, no pace, set up, asking for trouble, and it traveled the distance.
Bowled him. Good comeback. Poor shot selection because he had already hit a big six. He went down the wicket too early. And he saw him coming down the wicket, so he pulled the length back and he misses it. And in the end, just somehow the ball goes on to hit the stumps.
Probably he was second guessing Hassan Mohsin that after the short delivery he'll come back with a fuller one. Instead, Hassan still went into the pitch, a little bit of grip, and Shoaib Tai was nowhere. Sweet revenge for Hassan Mohsin. The Atlanta Force now 2 wickets down, 24 for 2. Rishi Pandey, the new man in, and he'll be at the non-striker end because that was the last delivery of Hassan Mohsin's over.
Swing and a miss. A left arm spinner. 24 for 2. This is the sixth over. None for 9 so far. Yes, taken, no dropped. Genuine edge and a really good piece of captaincy because the second slip came in the last over that he bowled. Look at that turn, straight in and straight out.
Well, excellent piece of captaincy. Everything went according to the plan, but for the catch, which was shelled.
Shouts of catch it, but he's put that away in style. One bounce to the fence. He has a touch fuller on that occasion from Saad. And Nitches latches onto it very, very quickly over the fielder at mid-on.
Mid-on was up in the ring, but it was too full into the hitting arc of Nitish, who's the other batter alongside Shoaib Tai, who's just been dismissed. He was amongst the runs, Nitish, yesterday, so feeling the ball in the middle of the bat all right.
This time short and on the offside. That is a very good shot. Couple of bounces to the fence.
Inside the power play, no protection, but once again it was short and it set up, allowed plenty of time to Nitish, who picked his spot nicely. He had to beat that fielder at extra cover. He decided to go aerial and almost went all the way, just a few yards inside the fence. Incredible how this shot has come into the game, the back foot punch, the aerial one.
And we also what Jasuria did. He was missed down the leg side and stumping chance, and then he smashed his way to score quick fire 62. He was dropped also. And the reason for me to mention that is that a couple of deliveries earlier he hit 2 fours, but just before that he was dropped in the slips area, so he can really take a cue out of from Jayasuriya.
Is it a coincidence that every time a batter is dropped, he goes on to hit a boundary next delivery? We've seen it so often. Come back and talk about it later. Power play done and dusted. 33 for 2 Atlanta Force. Well, despite the best effort of Nitish, the required run rate has jumped to 11.57.
Yep. When you're chasing a big target of 194, power play done and dusted. Signal from the umpire confirming it. If you don't have a couple of good overs, then the run rate even will climb more. Starts well with a dot. Now, whatever I've seen so far from the teams that has participated here, the ones that, especially in this ground, this team looks different. Kingsman X. You talk about professionalism, you talk about handling the pressure, you talk about setting up a total. It was all to be seen when they came on to bat. Nicely played. They're not even looking to put pressure onto the fielders in the deep because it's an easy single, right? Fine. But if you're chasing a that big a total, you would want to put a little bit pressure onto the fielder by running the first one hard.
It went in the gap. Long on had to come around to his left. That's Mudassir. And then Jayasuriya was in the mid-off inside the ring. No intent in running between the wickets.
Nicely played off the back foot. Good looking punch, but only a single. And teams will be taking note of this team, Kingsman X. When you see a team scoring more than 200 in the first game, 237 to be exact, and then almost another 200 in the very next game, which was today, 194. Start taking note.
Rishi Pandey is a local Atlanta product. He's very good cricketer, still very young. Someone to watch out for. It's a good platform for him to gain further experience. He's been part of the minor league setup for the Atlanta Fire. This is hit back at Hassan Mohsin again. And it once again hit him before he could attempt to catch it. Another opportunity, you may say, went a begging.
Yeah, this was a bit lower. The one that was hit on the face, this should have been taken. Yeah,
Went full and the ball was struck back at him at fierce pace. Went full and the ball was struck back at him at fierce pace. This time to his right hand, which is his bowling arm.
right. 35 for 2 in 6.5. Run rate now bubble 12 now. Required run rate. Short one. Should have been put away. He could have hit it any way he wanted to. But he managed to hit it straight to the fielder at deep square leg. Only a single. Misses out to pick up a boundary. After the end of the seventh over, Atlanta Force 36 for 2.
Short.
36 for 2 after 7. Nitish Sudini is still there, unbeaten on 14. Rishi Pandey, who just come on to bat, has only faced 2 deliveries for a single run. It's not been easy going. You saw what very short for while swept high. looking in to be a little bit aggressive, but he pays the price after hitting a big six. He went down the wicket and he lost his wicket. Right. Hassan, who bowled only 2 overs, gone for a 1 for 13. Akhtar Shah is the new bowler from the far end. Well, they look a pretty decent bowling side as well, Shah Faisal.
Yeah, look in the lineup. They also got Omar Khan, the left arm spinner, very, very good left arm spinner.
And what has been impressive about them is that hardly giving any room whatsoever. A new bowler, he just come in and bowled his first delivery. Again, a pretty good line and length. And that's what has stood out for me from the bowling department. Batting was a treat to watch.
Absolutely, and also add to the fact that they seem to have a bit of pace about themselves. Ghulam Mudassir was quite quick, and look at the way wicketkeeper Shahan is standing well back. It's a sluggish pitch, mind you.
Taken. Yep. Extra bounce. And Akhtar Shah has picked up a wicket in the second delivery in his very first over. So another one goes.
It's Nitish. Once again, good pace. Look at where Shahan Jahangir took the ball, fingers pointing up, standing a long way back. Big, strong lad Akhtar has made immediate impact. And Atlanta Force suffers yet another loss. Now they're 36 for 3.
Atlanta Force in some sort of trouble at the moment. 36 for 3. They've got now two new batters in the middle. Viraj Waghela is the new batter. They seem to have struggled. They've struggled with the ball. They're struggling with the bat. Up against a high quality side here.
Yeah, there's obviously that gulf of class between the two teams. Talented youngsters on one side and experienced pros played cricket at the highest level around the world. Like winning the toss and bowling first gave them, the Atlanta Force, the obvious advantage, which they couldn't capitalize for long enough.
Again beats the bat. A hint of movement indicating from the batter.
Sure, Shan Jahangir is standing pretty close to the 30-yard circle behind. At least the helmet that he's got behind him probably would be on that 30-yard marker. From here, looking at it live, it looks a long way back. That ball died to him, but skidded along in terms of pace through the air pretty quick. Like I say, the wicket is sluggish, but Akhtar, big tall man.
Yeah, this time he'll get off the mark. They should come back for the second here. They got to put some pressure onto the fielders. It's good running in the end.
Good outing for Atlanta Force in terms of gaining plenty of experience, but the competition, the contest is really turning in to be a very one-sided one. That required run rate is now 12.3. And those big hits that are required aren't coming.
It's been called a wide. He's kind of hitting the deck kind of a bowler. And the seamers that we've seen so far were very impressive indeed. They look a very balanced outfit. Kingsman X. And so far, what I've seen from them, well, certainly one of the favorites. Oh, nearly, nearly. It just came back. Good skills, but it's beat the bat, beat the keeper. Oh, he's taking that catch. Wow. I thought he's beaten him. Oh, his
They,
neck, just the bail of the stump on the top of the stumps. That is a terrific delivery. I missed that. Correction. You pointed it out to me. Shah Faisal. Somehow, just the bail on the off stump. Somehow it managed to dislodge it.
just brush it, just barely brush the top bail, the off bail, and it took its time to get dislodged. For a moment, following the ball, we thought that it got an inside edge and it went past Shayan Jahangir, but then the celebrations happened, a bit belated. Even if we see the replay, Akhtar Shah for a moment, he didn't realize himself, but that off bail did come out rather slowly. What a terrific delivery it was. And finishing off the over with a wicket. Have a look again and have a look at Akhtar Shah as well, how he celebrated belatedly.
The ball had actually gone to the boundary, but on the way, it had just clipped the bail on the off bail. Oh, brilliant piece of bowling. That one came back sharply in because the couple of deliveries had taken it away from the right hander. A lovely delivery. He's picked up his second wicket. 39 for 4 after 8. They're struggling. They're really seriously struggling here. Atlanta Force. They've got no answer to the bowlers from Kingsmen X.
I don't think it's going to get any easier. Umar Khan into the attack, as it so often happens. Give him the build up, and he bowls a rank full toss down the leg side. Poor start from the young left armer.
Yeah, Loosener. Nicely played from Vivek. Vivev Anumari. Swept away. Easy pickings. So gets off the mark with the boundary.
We mentioned Vivek quite a few times in their fielding innings because he was the one who gave Shayan Jasuria the chance.
Yeah,
He is probably at the
yeah,
non-striker end at the moment.
correct. Yeah, we're just looking at the scorecard. It's Rishi. Uh,
Rishi Pandey. Yeah.
Rishi Pand is the one who swept that away nicely.
Umar Khan made a good name for himself a couple of years back when he burst onto the scene in PSL, playing against the likes of AB de Villiers and Karen Pollard. He really was handy. That's the time when PSL was happening in United States on those pitches. He really came to the fore with his flight, guile, and variations. He's rather faded away from the Pakistani scene, so he's hit these shores here in America just a couple of years ago. The striking thing, the same like Ghulam Mudassir, he is also very young, into his early 20s.
Yeah, Vivek is the left-hander. Look at that turn. Look at that sharp turn. It's been called a wide. Yeah, down the leg side. Right call. This is one of the fielders is indicating maybe it might have just brushed the thigh pad on its way. That's the reason why there's a leg slip, a leg gully in also. Again, big turn, big turn.
It's quite a stuttering, bouncing run up for Umar Khan. Gave him the advantage at the bigger leagues where he could watch the batter. And that little leap just before the delivery just allow him to watch the batter for the very last minute and change accordingly if he need to.
And they need to find a pair of uh, Atlanta Force to ensure that they get some sort of partnership going. Nothing much so far. Already 4 down for 46 in the ninth over. Nicely played. Very nicely played. This should go to the boundary. And it does. Nice way to finish the over. Lovely shot from Rishi. It brings the 50 for Atlanta Force. 50 for 4.
Good old fashioned cut shot. Played it late to say it was short and wide. The invitation was there, and Rishi Pandey, pretty good. Rishi Pandey is not a blaster, but he's a very skillful batter, technically very correct. So in this situation, where the required run rate is as high as it is, I mean, his job is very difficult, but the best he can do is just to bat on.
Uh, they, they would want to put in an effort to get as close as possible. Already the top order back in the huts are not going to be easy. So perhaps this pair, lot will depend on this pair whether they'll be able to handle themselves against this high quality attack. Appealing, just probably just drifting down the leg side. Has been very impressive, picking up 2 wickets in his very first over.
Akhtar Shah, tall, strapping lad, runs in from quite a long distance, gathers pace in his run up. Be very interesting to see if he happened to play on a quicker pitch. See how much pace he can generate.
And then jumps him for room here. Good delivery on target, on stumps. He's got a beautiful action. Runs in quite nicely and releases. The release is very good from Akhtar Shah. Hardly give the batter any room to maneuver or even look to rotate strike. This time it's a little bit wide, but then all of a sudden you can see that spongy bounce also, which makes life difficult for the batter. Trying to cut that away to the point area, completely missing it. Rishi Pandey.
It's the second day of this year's Atlanta Open T20 Championship, and the action doesn't stop. We got another game on this field this afternoon. Clarion Eagles will be taking on Raiders Demons. Another very good contest to watch out for.
This time it's short and wide, cut away, but he finds the fielder at third. Only a single. 50 is on the board with that single. It's 52 now. But the run rate just keeps on climbing and now touching distance of 14 runs in an over from here on. What do you do? What do you tell them as a coach, Shah Faisal?
Well, they need to start going big right now. But like we've mentioned so many times, there's so much gulf in class between these two teams and pedigree and experience. It is really turning out to be a no contest in the end.
It's turning out to be a one-sided affair down the leg side called a wide.
But part of the education, and it's the modern day thinking, that give it a good go. Doesn't matter if you end up getting bowled out in 18 overs, but just give it a good go and see where you end up.
Yeah, I thought if you look at the dismissal of Shoaib Tai, he was the one who was looking good up until that moment when he hit a really good six towards long on. And when you have someone like that who's batted well, so he need to take a little bit more responsibility on his shoulder instead of trying to hit the very next ball. You've already got a six, get off strike, get a single, hand it over to the non-striker. I think these are the things that needs to be discussed in strategy plans because you plan a lot of things, but you need to execute your plans accordingly. I think that has hurt them. But you rightly pointed out, I think gulf of difference between these two sides. One is looking very, very professional, the other struggling. Just opening the face of the bat. Will only be a single. Another very good over from Akhtar Shah comes to an end. After 10 is 54 for 4.
Umar Khan hit straight back at him. Jayasuriya will keep the chase, but in vain. The over has started off with a boundary, and Athar Ali Khan has given way to Vinod Mamchan in the combox.
Yeah, that's a lot sharp. That was struck with tremendous power. Ivy Vic, 58 for 4. Is it done as a contest?
Yeah, I mean, it was expected though, when you see the team sheets and the names on it, once they got up to that total of 194, it was as good as over.
Well, I was telling Atta early on that the mere fact that the guys on the Atlanta Force team can just be here to play with these guys, these professionals that Kingsmen X has, it, it's big for them. It's half of the job done.
Absolutely, that's the point we made before the start of the contest that a few of these players, strong sweep, but straight to the fielder from Vivek. Yeah, the purpose of putting this side out and giving these talented cricketers the opportunity to share the field with some of the more illustrious and world famous cricketers. And I'm pretty sure at the end of that, they will learn plenty of it. The likes of Rishi Pandey, who's still battling it hard in the middle, is batting on 11, can gain quite a lot in terms of experience and exposure.
Officially,
And you see the way he's shaping up, Rishi. Tell that he's got the ingredients to be successful at this level, but it's just a team game. He's part of a very, very young and inexperienced team.
I think it's an achievement for them just to see out the 20 overs. Not out says the umpire.
Warner at leg slip was claiming the catch. After that, he had a trick or two up his sleeves as he run up, hoping that the batter will lift his back foot, try to knock the stumps over, but I think Vivek was clever.
Always gripping. It's a lot of turn on offer still. After 11, it's 61 for 4. Right.
Making things very pleasant. Into blue sky.
It's a lot better overall from yesterday. Even a better pitch.
Yeah, pitch is slightly on the better side, although still plenty of grip and turn for the spinners. Yeah, it's not a 112 play, 112 in 19.4. I reckon the best T20 games are when the scores are in the range of 140 to 170.
Yes, always, you always have a chance. Trying to break the shackles there, Vivek. Oh, chance for Ronald Jasuria. Collecting cleanly. You think the players are just going through the motions?
Yeah, the body language would suggest they're in absolute commanding position. That required run rate is ever climbing, 15.35, and with no big hits coming, there is a feeling of inevitability about the proceedings.
Shifted.
Yeah, they keep coming at you. Look at the bowling options they've got. Now it's Tejinder Singh. We've already seen how many? Five, six bowlers already. Saad bin Zafar. And they benched Ehsan Adil today. Ghulam Mudassir has bowled. Akhtar Shah has been pretty impressive. Umar Khan.
How often do you see two slips in a T20 game? That is, of course, due to the fact that this ball is really spinning. Bad line, though, this time from Tajinda. They should go back for two, and they do. That line that is running around the field is still very puzzling, isn't it?
It is indeed, it is. Quite a few times you get fooled by the flight of the ball when it lands outside of that circle, which you see right under the feet of the fielder right now. But yeah, I think the outfield need another more probably, and that will probably make it disappear. Cut it even shorter. Outfields have been in great shape though.
Yeah,
I
they have been.
genuinely,
Yeah, I think Jaish has taken a lot of pride in that. Struck away, and that's four.
well, he's done more fielding than camera work today.
Yeah,
Busy
definitely.
boy.
His brother just only on Sunday celebrated winning the CPL. His brother, of course, plays with the St. Lucia Zooks, well, the St. Lucia Stars now. And Mikel Govaya, congratulations on being part of that winning CPL setup. In the air, top edge. There's no one there. It's a situation where the mailman came and no one was at home.
For once, Shayan Jahangir enjoying the outfield. It's not behind the stumps.
It's thanks to the sponsors for this option. Great Care Family Dentistry. Not forgetting Rahim Business Management Group. This is turning into him, and that's a lovely shot for six. Left arm orthodox into the left hander. All he had to do was carry through with the shot.
Yeah, the angle was going for him, and also the little bit of turn. Found the sweet spot of the bat. Okay, so you have been pretty quiet since the lunch break. Did you not enjoy your meal?
I didn't have a meal just yet. I was
What?
attending to matters of state, but I will get to it shortly. I assure you of that.
Haven't got up to your famous stories just yet.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Oh, it's a good delivery. Everyone.
Wait for the umpire's signal. Did hear a little something now. It's by. Signal has been made. Look at the turn as well from Umar Khan.
Mm.
Some reaction from the slip. At 13 gone, Atlanta Force 79 for 4.
To Jinder. got the ball to give a serious rip in the first over. Just the 3 runs coming off that initial over from him.
Well, he'll enjoy bowling to the left-hander now, Tejinder. Generally bowling around the wicket, changes the angle right now as well. Warner and Shine Jayasuriya in the slips.
Oh, and he's out caught. Playing the reverse sweep, and he has to depart. That's the fifth wicket to have fallen.
Yeah, premeditated once again. He knew that playing the right way with that kind of turn wouldn't be an option. He went for that reverse hit. Felt that he got a bit too close to the ball. Couldn't allow the hands to swing freely with full speed. Have a look at that. See what actually happened. Yeah, too full. And
Definitely not there for the shot.
that's what happens when you premeditate. On that occasion, he will have to pay the price. Vivek gone for 15. It's 80 for 4.
There was something of a mini recovery after losing 4 early wickets. And now that has ended. It's 80 for 5. Uh, Don't know much about who's to come. And Side Askari. So we'll see the depth of their batting. Jinder is getting the ball to spin a lot. Just needs to pull it back sometimes. Reaching for it. He has the right idea. Didn't look pretty, but he did reach out for it near side. Trying to negate whatever spin there is. And there is plenty. That's a full pitch delivery that's put away for 6. A bad delivery by Tejinder. Pulled away over deep mid wicket. 6 runs.
These two batters, Said has just come in now, giving company to Rishi. It was a gift though. He could have hit it anywhere. Chose to go square down on one knee. I think Tejinder is getting a bit greedy. He's looking to buy a wicket or two here.
He's getting to it, and as I said before, if you can pull it back a couple inches, allow it to spin, it can be so much more effective. Look to get the straight one going on with the arm as well, because they're expecting the ball to spin. End of the over though, at the end of 14, it's 86 for 5. There goes your guy, Jai Patel. Do you think that he has a nickname for every blade of grass on this field?
Well, I think he might have. He's absolutely restless.
The guy just doesn't sit. I remember once being invited to his farmhouse, which I'm sure you've been, and the guy invited me there with a couple other people. His good friend Surin Gandavaram was also there, and the guy just kept walking up and down, and he was actually cooking for us. He would never sit. So when the meal was finished, he never sat at the table and ate with us. He was just waiting to wash the wares, the dishes. Jasuria. Oh, he's greeted with a big hit. That goes for 6.
Well,
Jasuria over pitching there.
this time it's Rishi Pandey who gets in on the act. Like I said, all these Kingsmen ex-bowlers, they're queuing up looking for some wickets. This time it's Jayasuriya. throwing the ball high up, throwing the challenge. Field is set deep.
You're quite right, Shah. You did say that these guys are probably just trying, rather than trying to bowl, they're just trying to buy wickets. And that's six. Didn't that remind you of Lenny Archiba, a good friend from New York?
Not at all. He doesn't
No,
even.
not the shot when he was on commentary describing the shot.
Oh yeah, it
Definitely not the
did.
shot.
Yeah, it's short. I mean, I don't know if he's ever cleared the 30-yard circle. I don't think so.
Wow. I don't think he's even hit it along the ground to the 30-yard
Get it
circle.
off the square, as they say.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the action doesn't stop here. Next game on this field, Clarion Eagles will be taking on the Raiders Demons. Some big names will be in action. Mukhtar Ahmed, Gerhard Erasmus, Saif Badr, Harmeet Singh, Mohammad Mohsin, Usman Shinwari. The list goes on and on. Jesse Singh. So, star-studded lineup for the Eagles as well.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see Jesse at work. That looks good. Not out, says the umpire. Let's have a look at that again. I'm probably going down the leg side. We don't have the best angle. The umpire has the best angle.
Yeah, with so much turn, it's really difficult to give those out. Overs been closed out at 94 for 5.
So we tend to have a lot of fun about our good friend Lenny. Great guy. We have a lot of fun with his batting. But I tell you something, batsmen like Lenny, if someone has to bat for your life, you can give him a contract. You're sure he's not going to get out. He may not score a run, but he would not get out.
That's stout defense. Oh, look at that bounce there off a length.
Good bounce. Of course, the height of the Jinder helps as well. And as you guys were saying earlier on, there is bounce and turn, which is a dangerous option. Lovely shot for four.
Well, 6 followed by a boundary for Syed.
That
And
wasn't a sweep with a broom, that was an eye robot. Such clinical accuracy.
yeah, with it, they're enjoying it, which is good to see. The youngsters from Atlanta Force. Like I said, as a contest, this run rate is climbing all the time. Now more than 20, despite the best efforts of these two. This one has beaten everybody. Once again, going for that reverse hit. Plenty of chasing for Sanjay Surya.
Again, the turn. The wicketkeeper put off a bit. Let's have a look at that.
It's easy, not easy for the wicketkeeper, though, that line, because he's for a moment blinded by the wicketkeeper, by the batter rather. This time with a conventional sweep.
'Time it's in the air. And the catch easily taken. Dr. Shah, any relation? The way he took that with such great poise. He has to be your cousin.
I don't know about that, because I would have shelled that, I know that.
Well, 6 wickets down now, and I got a message from the great man himself, Lenny Archibald. I look forward to his arrival, I tell you. Let's get to Mr. Lenny. He said, I hit sixes. Well,
It's a breaking news for me.
I think Lenny had, if I do remember clearly, Lenny had struck 9 sixes in a game. Was on 82 not out, and his wife awoke him from his sleep.
Yeah, I would have expected that outcome, because I would have jumped off of a cliff if I knew that Lenny scored 82 in the first place and to have hit that many sixes. No way. Thank you, Vinod.
They say the foundation of every good batsman is to get the basics right first, and this is what Lenny has done. Just needs to develop. This needs to stop hawking that high elbow and play through the line.
I think he's got stuck at that for decades now, so it's about too late for him to expand.
I love the way though. I love the way that he's so enthusiastic about his old years. I think it's his Boxing Day or Christmas morning match. Yes, it's a great tradition, and you find that a lot from guys coming out of the Caribbean. Uh, you know, these special days, they get together on the playing field. It's either to play soccer or to play cricket. But Lenny's one of those players who will master gully cricket. You're sure
Yeah,
to save the windows. Don't mind the windows, Lenny.
he needs to head his way to Pakistan. There's plenty of gully cricket. We call it the garage cricket as well.
Hmm.
You're not allowed to bowl overarm, neither underarm, so you just basically throw, but then you use your fingers to get the ball to turn both ways or get his skid off a little.
Was that the academy team? I know there is a team that has a lot of academy players on it there. Yeah, Lenny is the type of guy you spoke about garage cricket. Lenny's a sort of batsman. You can leave your car in the garage and play cricket with it.
Yeah, well, Lenny will have plenty to say when he arrives
Oh
in a
my,
couple of days' time. So be ready for that.
oh my. I'm gonna tell him that everything I said was written by Shah and passed on to me. Oh, he's struck on the toe and he's gone. Easy as that. Jayasuriya gets in the wicket hole. Let's have a look.
Qadri himself, who bowls quick, probably doesn't have the patience to push and prod. Big booming swing, missed everything, and was caught plumb in front.
Why push and prod when you're in this situation? You see, sometimes guys are interested only in seeing out the overs, and what they forget, Shah, is that net run rate could play a part in your future at the back end of any tournament. So you need to get as close as possible. Try your best so that your net run rate don't take a hit. And as it stands here, Atlanta Force's net run rate will definitely take a hit. At this point in time, they need 93 in 3.3 overs. Even Lenny can't get that.
Yeah, there's always that. Me and Arthur were talking earlier that is it the right way to just bat out the 20 overs, gain the exposure and experience, or just give it a good old go? Doesn't matter if you get bowled out inside 15 overs. The modern day will go for the later. They would give it a good go and see where they end up. If that comes naturally to them, pushing and prodding and grinding and grafting isn't for the modern day batters, especially in associate countries like USA, where majority of the cricket is white ball cricket. And of that majority, most of it is 20 over cricket.
Do you see the red ball having a future here?
In long term, it has to, at least at the national level.
Mhm.
We need to start playing two-day cricket here. That will improve the skill of the players.
So on the domestic scene, are there no two-day cricket, or is it just instant cricket, as we call it, limited overs cricket?
And there is only white ball cricket,
Mm.
probably about 30% of that comprised of the 50 over cricket, and 70% is 20 over cricket, which is a good way to grow the game, but then to be able to enhance the skills somewhere along the lines, you have to fit in a red ball tournament.
It has to work hand in hand. You use the white ball to attract the players to the game, and then you refine that skill in the red ball format. I mean, I can tell you, Shah, honestly, I can't remember the scores from the CPL final, but I can remember the score when the West Indies played Pakistan in a test match in 1987 at the Queen's Park Oval.
Exactly, that is the thing. And you remember a test victory for
Yes.
decades, but T20 I mean, they just come and go. They're entertainment. You
Uh,
enjoy
but
the occasion and then you forget about it. And that is worldwide, not just you. I mean, same
but
goes
but
with,
to back up your point, we just saw in the images there Raheem Cornwall, and I can remember the catch he took at slip in a test match, very low down onto his left for the West Indies to beat Bangladesh in Bangladesh with just a couple minutes to go. But I can't remember his last T20 score, and he's playing in this tournament.
yeah, exactly. That is the, further the point that the lasting contribution that can come is through red ball, especially if for younger players, the developing players, they need to play longer version to understand their game. And then, because of the market that there is for the limited overs cricket, it's easier to change the skills from longer format to the shorter format. So once you, like you just said, jokingly we said about Lenny, but once you have the basics to convert them into white ball cricket, you just need to find extensions of these basics, and that'll, as a batter, take you places. And for the bowlers, bowling for longer durations, you find out more about yourself, your strengths and weaknesses, and then you're better able to execute those skills in a shorter format, in a shorter span. You're mentally more mature and ready for all kinds of situations.
So it's in the air. Two, no one is there. Very dapper looking Atali Khan makes an appearance just past his 25th birthday, I think.
25th?
27 for
Yeah, earlier on
for
you're
the
talking
most.
about his highest score at the ODI level in that innings
Yeah.
that he played. There was plenty of insights from himself, the man himself, about that innings.
Oh, I thought you were going to say there were a lot of inside edges.
Well, he's listening, so I can't say that. Now, tell you something though.
Five half centuries, I believe.
My first memory of him was that innings actually. You know, he's tall, so the tall, elegant opener.
Was he as elegant a stroke player as he dresses?
Oh yeah, for sure. He's actually got that dressing sense from his elegant stroke play. I make out. I remember back in the day.
Did Bangladesh win that match?
No, I think Bangladesh's first win came against Pakistan in that 1999 World Cup. By that time, Fath Ali Khan had hung his boots,
Mm.
probably getting ready, got ready to get into the com box.
That was a big game for Bangladesh. It was after that that they were able to get test status because they would have beaten one of the major test playing countries. They needed to beat, I think, I stand corrected, one of the top five, and Pakistan was definitely in that range at that point in time. Pakistan actually went on to the finals.
Yeah, that 1999 team from Pakistan was really a very, very good side and a mystery to plenty at this stage as well. That how come they didn't win that World Cup?
I, I'll give you a tidbit. Bangladesh hosted its first ODI win against Kenya in India, thanks largely to Mohammad Rafiq. You will well remember Mohammad Rafiq, who contributed a fiery 77 and took 3 wickets. He put on 137 for the first wicket with the man himself, Atta Ali Khan, whose own contribution was 47. Real royalty here.
Mm, yeah, and
Very first ODI win. And that's something that would always remain special to anyone.
oh yeah, that's in the history books forever.
Yep. Can't change that. You can't break that record.
I'm surprised that Mohammad Rafiq opened because he's a left-arm spinner. The proceedings are meandering along here at the Paramveer Sports Complex, 114 for 7 with 2 to go. Looks like it's Ghulam Mudassir. Close out things from this combox end. It's been very impressive today. Ghulam Mudassir ran in quite hard. Plenty of pace on display on this slower pitch. Just the last rights has been written for this game. Just the one wicket for Ghulam Mudassir. Would like to add to that tally. Very quick, very sharp into the ribs of Saeed Askari. Very impressive pace from Ghulam Mudassir. I think just for pure memory and observation, whichever we've seen on this field, he's probably the quickest bowler. Knocked him over. What a sight for any fast bowler. The middle stump has been uprooted by Ghulam Mudassir. His pace is too much for Akhil Posa. It's definitely worth having another look at that. Round the wicket, angling in. It was far too good for the number 9. Really been good enough for any top order batter, let alone the number 9, Akhil Posa. He walks back, and the end is in sight for the Atlanta Force. They're 115 for 8. Karnik Patel, the left arm spinner, will walk into the middle. Left-handed Patel will face up to Ghulam Mudassir. He needed to be online. Ghulam Mudassir could really bag a couple of easy wickets. Oh, it went over the top of the stumps. Excellent delivery from Ghulam Mudassir. I think he's going for that full Yorker. Quick, sharp delivery within the stumps. Could have been the order of the day, but Mudassir will close out his work for the day. 3 overs, And just 6 runs for 2 wickets. An impressive spell. 19 done. 115 for 8 Atlanta Force. आ जाओ थोड़ी देर बोल दो काम होता है हम काम के लोग हैं बातों के अरे बातें भी इस तरह के मैच पे बहुत मुश्किल एक ओवर है अरे नहीं स्टिल 140 एंड डन हाँ Bonner will bowl the final over. This is gone straight up and straight into the lap of mid-wicket. Looks like it's Saad bin Zafar who took the catch. Very safe pair of hand. Look at how he steadied himself under the ball. Great balance. And I think it is the end of the game because we did have an injury earlier on. And ninth wicket will signal the close of the innings. Very, very comprehensive performance for the Kingsman X. They have completed a very comprehensive victory. 79 runs was the margin. Atlanta Force never at the races. And now that players are walking off, they will shake hands. I've seen a very dominant display from Kingsman X, one of the more fancy teams in this championship. There's plenty of action coming your way. The afternoon game will be starting at 2:30, and we'll be back with you just 10 minutes before that. Thank you very much for being with us, and we look forward to your company in just about 40 minutes.